Hi there. In our world today, abortion has become a norm. We have heard different stories as to why the rate of abortion just keeps increasing, especially among young ones, and this has become very alarming. Historically, abortions didn't just start today. In fact, it has been attempted via different methods: concussions, sharp tools, and even through forceful massages, etc. In Nigeria, abortion is illegal. However, abortion is viewed differently across the world owing to cultural or religious views. In some areas, abortion is legal only in specific cases such as rape, fetal defects, risks to a woman's health, or even incest. The list is endless. There has even been heated debates over the moral, ethical, and legal issues surrounding abortion. Anti-abortion movements often argue that an embryo or fetus is a person with a right to live, and they compare abortion to murder. But those who support the legality of abortion often hold that it is part of a woman's right to make decisions about her body and life. And there is also a faction that favors legal and accessible abortion as a public health measure. According to a Guttmacher Institute research, an estimated 456,000 unsafe abortions are done in Nigeria every year. In a joint study carried out by the Society of Gynecologists and Obstetricians of Nigeria and Nigeria's Ministry of Health estimates that women who engage in unsafe abortions peaked at about 20,000 each year. An estimated 3 to 5% of reproductive age women had an abortion in the 12 months prior to a study by PMA data. Many of the abortion issues bothers on adolescents. Although this effect is paramount in sexually active women in the country, it is believed that adolescents are the most in need of these services. If they adopt safe practices to avoid unplanned pregnancies, these problems could start to decline. But a major issue with teens in Nigeria is that they are most likely not to use contraceptives to avoid pregnancy, and the most likely to turn to unsafe abortion practices, which leads to increased morbidity and mortality rates. Today, I have decided to link up with Dr. Azu, a seasoned specialist. He would shed more light on how this increase can be checked.
Pregnancy that terminates itself is a spontaneous abortion. There are other abortions too, whereby the pregnancy is a threat to the mother. You can willingly terminate that, okay, with the consent of the couple, you know. So, but where we have issue is the criminal abortion. Criminal abortion means a young lady or a woman who gets pregnant and says, "See, I'm not ready for this pregnancy, and I want to terminate it." Right? That's what we call criminal abortion. And I'm sure that's what you are here talking about, right? So you're asking if there are laws restricting? Yes. Anyways, in Nigeria as a country is still has a law against criminal abortion. So it's not. The law does not allow anybody, as it were, to terminate any pregnancy that is not a threat to the mother. But fine. The way we can reduce it, you're asking how we can reduce it, right?
Yes, sir.
Education, morality should be a mantra. Yes.
Now that you said education, are you of the opinion that sex education should be taught to children, especially young girls?
Everybody should be taught sex education. Everybody that is born, from when you start hearing the word come and go, right? In your language or in your whatever they speak in your domain, you should be educated about sex. You see, I think that the word too, maybe the word is designed for crime and irregularities. Maybe we are talking of a guy getting a woman pregnant. There are other vices that are even worse than that. There's pedophiles. There are pedophiles everywhere now, right?
True.
So if we preach morality, if we preach sex education, you know. Recently, I was talking to a lady, and she said, "I've never had sex." You know. Well, I said, "Oh, really?" She said she has never had sex. I think she's 32, if I could remember correctly. She's 32, and she prides herself that she has never had sex. You know.
Wow.
And okay, we got talking, and somewhere in the line, and she said that, but they do. I mean, that he gives him, and she gives him, and he gives her. You know what I mean?
I don't understand.
Okay.
Please clarify for us.
I don't know. They've never had sex, but they come. Okay.
Okay, they find alternative means.
Sex.
Oral. Oh.
Okay, so this person is saying, I've never had sex. You know, my dad is so proud of me. I've never had sex. But then they have oral sex. Isn't that sex too?
You know, they are of the opinion that since it is not penetration, then it's not actually sex.
Yeah, because they've not penetrated, you have not had sex. I mean, so I'm trying to say that yes, we can educate the society to the best we can, maximally, right? Yeah, and I think the law too should not be too rigid about some of these practices, you know. Because what we should be aiming at is safe abortion. Truthfully speaking, a lady who is pregnant and has made up her mind to terminate this pregnancy, there is nothing that is going to stop that lady. There is nothing. Worst case scenario, she will die in the process. It's as bad as that. So rather than making a law to say nobody should do this, and whether they do it, like I should rightly say, there are centers where even those that are not trained are doing it. Those that are trained refuse to do it because the law says don't do it. Then those that are not trained, because of desperation
and money,
are not the one practicing it. You get it? Yeah, so I think so. But sex education, prevention of pregnancy, you know.
So we also have the case scenario where some parents are actually aware that their children are pregnant, and they also take them to the hospital. Are there particular centers where one can go to get these services?
Like I started by saying that criminal abortion is illegal in Nigeria. So there is no hospital that offers abortion legally. You know, from Sokoto to Kapachan to Lagos to my village, there's no hospital that puts a signpost, abortion is done. It's not. Yes, you can have one or two persons who still do it, you know, as a side also, you know. But it's when the complications arise that you now know that the law is strictly against it. So what we advocate is that rather than allow people die because they are doing unsafe abortion, why not legalize the process and let those that know the onion, right, peel the skin.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. But before we go, I would like to ask, what would you advise parents, even the teenagers themselves, or anybody in particular having an abortion?
Sex education, right?
Yes.
Use of contraceptives. Let's practice what the other parts of the world claim is practicing. In South Africa, for instance, a young lady can walk up to a clinic and say, I want to terminate a pregnancy. I want to come and get pills to prevent pregnancy. You get it?
Yes.
But here you can't do that. We'll send you to first of all go call your parents or go call your husband or your boyfriend. You know. So we should keep educating the young ones and tell them the use of and encourage the use of contraceptives, condom for instance, right? Not only will it prevent you from getting pregnant, it will prevent you from having other sexually transmitted infections, STI.
This is where we'll close the lead on today's episode. From our conversation with Dr. Azu, I think we have all learned one or two things. If you find this video educative, remember to drop a like and also to share. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and as we have a lot in store for you. It's Mala in here, keeping it real 100. Bye for now.